How have you been holding up? Any adverse reactions? If you start to take a turn for the worse, make sure you tell me right away.
You don't need to worry about me, Grandmaster. I'm fine. I mean, I barely did anything, so...
What? You're too humble, young man.
You played an indispensable role in the battle for Nodcry. We can't thank you enough for your support. Sometimes, when people praise you, it's because you deserve it. The best thing is to accept it calmly and with grace. It's important to learn how to respond to words of admiration.
Let's do a quick demonstration. Albedo, that was an incredible feat of alchemy. The pressure was on, but you worked flawlessly at lightning speed to get the job done.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit, though. Durin played a big part in forming the alchemical array.
See? Did you catch that? A masterclass in how to take a compliment.
Okay, yeah. I did work pretty hard to help prepare for the battle. No point denying that.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, look who's bounced back. Looking good, traveler.
Seems like you've recovered. You won't need to take any more medication.
Can I get you a drink?
Huh? You know how to order at a bar now? You've sure learned a lot recently.
Handling a drinks order is ridiculously simple compared to alchemy. Don't worry, I'll blend into society yet.
Paimon believes it. You're clearly a fast learner, just like your brother. To be totally honest, though, Paimon didn't quite follow all the details when you first explained the plan to us.
Don't worry, that's completely understandable. Unless you're a student of alchemy, it's hard to grasp the principle and how the process works.
To put it in the simplest terms, we saw how our enemy stole the power of Kuvaki. And that gave us the idea of stealing his power to turn it against him. When facing an enemy you have no hope of defeating, it's best not to engage them in battle. So, instead of looking for a way to overpower him, we decided to help Columbina get strong enough to at least stand up to him in a fight. For this to work, we had to analyze his modes of attack, confirm who his main target was, and make sure that he wouldn't go beyond the range of the alchemical array. For added security, we prepared a total of 4 arrays. But to mitigate the impact of the battle, we identified one location in particular as the ideal spot, which is where the confrontation took place. The alchemical array absorbed his abyssal power. Then Durin processed it to render it usable by Columbina. That power enabled her to do what would otherwise have been nigh on impossible.
What surprised me was that Dainsleif actually agreed to join us. Given his history with Rerir, he had every right to sit this one out, but we're extremely grateful for the decision he made.
It must have been a painful choice to make. But I'm sure that making a decision was far better for him than staying in limbo.
Absolutely. He was torn between 2 paths, but in the end, he made his choice and stuck to it resolutely. He doesn't strike me as the sort of person who'd stay trapped in limbo for long. Anyway, however you cut it, everyone gave a stellar performance. And now, it's time to kick back and celebrate.
That's the only reason you're here.
Yes. I've thought a lot about it. And I've realized that you, me, and Arlecchino should be friends. I think this is very important. So I felt I had to come and tell you.
Well, this is a new one. I'm so moved. I can't even hold my teacup. If that's all, you can leave now.
Do you not want to be friends with me? Or is it that you prefer being co-workers?
What is this, Columbina? Are you deliberately testing my patience threshold? Right now, my politeness module is active, but if you say another word, I swear I'll shut it down.
If your politeness module was active, wouldn't you say the word please at some point?
Polonia, please see Lady Columbina to the door.
Will you still invite me to your next tea party?
What?
Yes, I think you will. Bye-bye, dear Sandrone.
Last time the Wild Hunt escorted you out. Would you rather I handled it myself this time?
We just wanted to, see how you were doing now that it's all over.
Why? Out of concern for my safety? I hope you didn't seriously think that the Rayhir of Solnari would be able to lay so much as a finger upon me, given how prepared I was.
Mostly because you kind of helped us out, so we just wanted to check you were okay. Looks like all your robots are fixed, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Tea time is already a write-off. The visitor before you managed to kill my appetite. If you're in the mood for tea, go ahead and help yourself. Otherwise, it's going to waste. My coasters are still missing in action, though. Use this notebook instead.
Whoa! Pretty hefty notebook. Look at all those calculations.
You can ignore those. They're just dumb scribblings. I doodle and write in my free time. Sometimes I remember the distant dreamlike past. Sometimes I imagine the far-flung future. And other times, I grit my teeth and note down all the crazy nonsense going on in the present. Some people do the crosswords in the newspaper. This is my equivalent of that. Trying to predict the future is like daydreaming, and writing about the present just makes me furious. The past is my favorite. If nothing else, it's already set in stone, so I don't have to rack my brains trying to figure it all out. Huh. Although, having said that, the only vaguely interesting memory in my past is probably that guy they call Lord Artificer. Who else? Pretty much all the mecha in Fontaine are his personal handiwork.
Wait, are you saying you know him? Like, personally? As a friend?
I mean, I guess we were friendly enough. Yep. In fact, I'm probably the only normal person left who knew him at all. We used to chat occasionally back when he was still around. Before he passed away, he asked me to destroy all his manuscripts. I honored his request, but I did read through everything first before destroying them. I mean, I couldn't let the genius of Lord Artificer Alain Guillotin disappear like that. Would have been such a waste.
So, that's where the formulas in your notebook are from?
I just told you, those are my equivalent of crossword puzzles. They're just dumb formulas that I solve for fun when I'm bored. Alain's work was like epic poetry. The formulas in my notebook are just silly little riddles in comparison. Not that there's anything bad about them. I mean, at least, solving those riddles isn't going to hurt anyone. Except me, 'cause I lose a few brain cells in the process. Anyway, while we're on the topic, I might as well tell you about what happened to him and his friends. Alain Guillotin had two close buddies, Renee and Jacob. They spent their childhood years together in the Narzissenkreuz Institute. They were all quite competitive, so there was some rivalry between them, but it was a friendly rivalry. But beneath the friendship and the rivalry ran something deeper, a sense of nostalgia for the past. Unfortunately, childhood would end, the prophecy would come true, the apocalypse would arrive, and the future would never be. A mad dream. that would normally only capture the minds of lunatics begin to take root in their hearts. A dream of saving the world. And if Renee and Alain had been people of lesser wits, that dream would probably have ended up as something for them to joke about in their older years. But alas, they were some of the sharpest minds around. They nurtured that dream with the full power of their intellect, and it grew into something that ate away at their souls. The first of them to fall under its spell was Renee. Against Alain's wishes, he persisted in experimenting on a mutual friend of theirs to try and save their life. Alain did not approve and parted ways with Renee. It's complicated. Alain wanted to believe that Renee only did what he did for the sake of their friendship. But when he told me about what happened, I could tell he still had some suspicions about Renee's motives. Perhaps the seed that would grow into a nightmare had already sprouted in Renee's mind. Even then, the next time they met, Renee's soul had been completely engulfed by the dream of salvation. His futile attempt to change the tide of fate only resulted in a wave that swallowed up the world, even before the apocalypse came. And although that wave died down eventually, I hear that it just recently came back with a vengeance. As I understand, Renee wanted to live out his dream of salvation once more. But I'm told that the attempted resurgence finally died out for good. At long last, Renee awoke from his deluded dream. Though of course by then it was far too late. What do you think of Renee? Do you admire his transcendent genius? His view that any price was worth paying to achieve the lofty goal of saving the world? Or do you despise him? Dismiss him as an evil madman who wrought havoc on the lives of everyone around him as he pursued his delusional dream? Same difference, really. Just a matter of perspective. What a cop-out. But I suspect you'd have a more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect. And still managed to get himself lost in the labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, moving on to Alain Guillotin, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. But after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest friend. I think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone, and a human being, to see its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage. while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work. Many years after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from the Narzissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life, even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world? Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the world began with a very simple desire: to save themselves. They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambitions to have a successful career. They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop. Or maybe they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? The way you said that sounded just like Alain. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his energy into his work. He gave the exact same answer as you did. No elaboration, just a quick short answer before getting right back to his work. He was always that way. All right, tea time's over. I owe Arlecchino a favor for telling me these stories. I'll have to bring a whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.
I finished checking your adventurer handbook. Here are your commission rewards. We have no other urgent commissions on the books at present. Thank you for all your hard work lately. Perhaps you two could consider taking a vacation.
Amazing! Paimon never thought we'd end up having downtime in Nacry. Things were pretty hectic when we first got here. Everywhere you looked, it was either the Wild Hunt causing chaos or the Fatui stirring up trouble. It felt like this whole region was one giant slime in a barrel, ready to go boom at any moment. Sure have. Things were looking pretty dicey, but in the end, we managed to turn it around. Whoa! Paimon just got deja vu! Oh, that's right. It's because we've done this like a million times now.
Ah, yes. Are you two aware that the Moon Prayer Night is soon to take place?
Oh, yeah! Lama told us that was coming up soon. Wait, why do you mention it, though? Do people in Nasha Town celebrate it, too? Paimon thought it was just for moon goddess worshippers.
You're partially right. Most people in Nasha Town just see the festival as an opportunity to do business. They do not concern themselves with the religious element. The festival was first celebrated by the Frost Moon Scions. On this day, they would wear moon prayer blossoms and celebrate the birth of the moon goddess through song and dance. They would also prepare food and handicrafts and give them as gifts to others. Over time, it became Nodcry's most lively festival.
Oh, sounds like fun! Great! Well, in the meantime, since Catherine doesn't have any commissions for us, let's focus on some personal business instead. When we first got here, you mentioned that this was where your spaceship landed? We didn't get to follow up on it at the time, because we got wrapped up in that whole rare situation, but now we can finally start investigating it properly. Well, there's a saying Paimon's heard around these parts, which goes, if you lift up a rock, you'll find something you weren't looking for. By that logic, you'll never find what you're looking for while you're searching. But the moment you stop looking, it'll jump right out at you. Could be worth a try though, right? Anyway, Paimon suggests we focus on other stuff we want to do for now, and just keep an ear out for spaceship-related intel as we go. What's wrong? He looks super serious all of a sudden. Huh? Paimon gets why you'd be concerned about Columbina, but what does the doctor have to do with anything? Oh, that's true. And now that you mention it, we're definitely overdue for a showdown with the Fatui. It is weird that he hasn't shown himself this whole time. What could he be up to? True. Paimon would much rather deal with Marionette anyway. Maybe it's the pressure of being a Fatuse? Especially as a Harbinger. Does she feel like she's gotta act tough to keep up appearances or something? But then, every time we headed out with Rarier, she always wound up having to repair Polonia and her other robots. That's gotta sting. Losing face always hurts more for people who care a lot about their image. She's probably still furious about it. What? Relax! She's not even here! Huh?
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, we'll be on our way now. Where are we again? Oh yeah, Columbina? Right, yeah, let's go see Columbina. Hey, she's sitting up!
Is me sitting here a rare sight?
No, we just thought you'd be resting.
Perhaps I would have been, were it not for the sudden arrival of some unexpected guests. Not that I consider it a disturbance. After all, you are the only ones who are free to enter. Would it not be a little unfriendly of me to lie down while we speak?
I didn't realize you put so much thought into little things like that.
Only sometimes. There have been moments lately where I think about you and your companions. They are warm, mysterious, and cozy memories. Very few of my past memories are anything like that. They say that travelers return home bearing bags full of souvenirs. But my luggage was empty, and I believed it would stay that way.
Return home? So, you're still planning on returning to the moon?
Yes. This planet continues to reject me, reminding me that I do not belong here. If I remain in Teyvat, there will come a day that I disintegrate. And I don't mean reduced to dust, or turned into food for the flowers. I mean, I will cease to exist entirely.
All right then. Well, we're sure gonna miss you. But it sounds like we'll have to say goodbye.
How do you intend to return?
The moon prayer night is soon to arrive. On that day, the moon will be closest to Teyvat. The Kuvaki in this land will reach its peak at that time. I merely need to grasp the tide, and with relatively little effort.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It'll work like a slingshot!
You make it sound like she's gonna get blasted up to the moon.
If I did that, I suspect I would crash into the false sky. I will be using a much gentler approach. But I do like the analogy. It's fun.
You see? She gets Paimon's sense of humor.
In the blink of an eye, the time has come to part ways.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? Time seems to fly fastest when you are enjoying it. I have always thought of myself as a wanderer on this earth, and it has never expressed any desire to keep me here. Yet just as I plan to depart, it tugs at my arm. Is this a gesture of affection? Or is the world mocking me?
Oh. Were you hoping I can answer that?
Yes. You are a traveler, so you must have a lot of experience in this area.
Then, what I would say is... enjoy the moment.
That's right! Don't overthink it! Happiness is happiness and joy is joy! The point is to enjoy it, not analyze it!
I see. Then what I would say is, even though I am very tired right now, I am still happy.
I can't tell from the tone of your voice.
Oh, really? You don't think I sound happy?
I'm just kidding. I could tell you were in a good mood today from the moment we saw you.
Ah, a joke. Albeit not a funny one. Anyway, I assume you're here about you-know-what. Give me your hand.
Actually, it's not that. There's something else we wanted to discuss with you.
Oh, then do you still want to give me your hand? Or not?
Sure. Thank you. So, I've heard that in the Moon Prayer Nights of the past, people here would hold celebrations in the Moon Goddess's honor. Since you helped so much in our fight against the Rehir of Solnari, I think you deserve a farewell party before you return home. I haven't asked everyone else for their opinions on this yet, but I'd like to invite you to join the upcoming Moon Prayer Night.
I've never joined a Moon Prayer Night before. I'm not sure what I would even do.
Oh, don't worry about that! We take care of everything! All you need to do is show up. Of course, there's no need to force it if you're not feeling strong enough. It's just, this kind of felt like a golden opportunity.
But they call me Kutar, and the Fatui have an arrest warrant out for me. I shouldn't appear in public right now.
I'll make it work. You have my word.
Yeah, we got your back. Well, he does. Paimon's actually not too sure what he's planning.
All right, if you're sure. I will not refuse your invitation. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to pack a few more sights from this world into my suitcase before finally learning what my homeland looks like. Oh, if you see Lauma, please tell her that my answer to the question she asked me is neither yes nor no. Rather, it is, there is no need.
That was kinda cryptic, but sure. Guess it's between the two of you. We'll pass along the message. Bye for now!
And also, I do not know.
Since she's agreed to join the festival, let's go see who else wants to take part. Lauma's gotta be the person most familiar with the Moon Prayer Night. We should start with her. Also, what exactly is your plan to keep her safe?
Not sure yet. I'll figure something out.
What? Are you serious? And Paimon even gave you her vote of confidence back there! When did you become so sneaky? Hey, Lauma! It's us! Huh? Varka? What are you doing here?
Beats me. I had a bit too much to drink last night, and when I woke up, I was on Hisi Island.
Mr. Varka is helping to oversee Nasha Town's preparations for Moon Prayer Night. He is here to go over some details regarding the decorations and custom cloth designs.
Right, yeah, that too.
What do you mean, that too?
Yes. Celebrating this festival is a long-held tradition here in Nordkrai. On this day, the crescent moon at the top branches of the verdant crest turns into a full moon, and the moon prayer blossoms bloom with a special radiance. Our people take these to be blessed omens.
It's an especially welcome event coming off the back of all that nasty business with Rare. Everyone got put through the ringer recently, and now they're looking to turn their fortunes around. The big shots in town all agree that a big, lively celebration is just what we need to rebuild people's faith in this place.
No wonder Catherine said the people weren't so bothered about the religious element.
That's right. It's become more of a local custom by this point. The celebrations have little to do with whether the religious stories behind this event are true or not. Even the Frost Moon Scions are eagerly awaiting the coming of Moon Prayer Night, despite now knowing that their past beliefs were founded on a falsehood.
That's fair. It's a bit like the Lantern Ride in Liyue. It's a chance for people to enjoy themselves, not debate the existence of the Adepti. Oh, one other thing. We just went to see Columbina. We went ahead and invited her to take part in the festival this time. Hope it's okay.
Wait, so... you mean she agreed to it? Huh. That's quite a surprise.
Then I suppose that she intends to return to the moon on that day.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a complicated process, but basically, it's like a slingshot.
I understand. In truth, I had a feeling that she might make such a decision. Well, if Kuthar has decided to participate in the festival, we should prepare accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. She was saying how it could be risky for her to show her face in public. We were wondering if there was any way we could hide her.
Unfortunately, the people who carved the statues did an excellent job of capturing her likeness. It will be very challenging to hide a goddess whose face everyone is so familiar with.
Darn! We may have bitten off more than we can chew here.
Nah, don't sweat the small stuff. We can handle that.
Huh? Are you saying you have a plan?
Not as such, no, but the most important thing with a festival is to keep the mood light and your spirits up. You can't go preparing for a festival with those long faces. You'll never convince anyone to enjoy themselves.
The Mondstadter spirit is strong with this one.
As it happens, I agree with Mr. Varka. Let's start by making our appreciation for Kuthar the beating heart of the festive atmosphere. And who knows? Once we get the ball rolling, perhaps everything will just fall into place.
Hey! Did you catch that? Llama said the thing! Or close enough, at least.
I'm looking forward to the Moon Prayer Night already. We have a festival in Mondstadt called Windbloom, and you can always tell which couples are celebrating it for their first time by the smiles on their faces. Big, beaming smiles like their whole face is glowing. And I have a feeling we'll get to see that same smile on the Moon Goddess's face at this festival.
Not quite the same, surely.
Anyway, I'll take care of business in the city, but I'll have to leave the decor up to you and the Frost Moon Scions. No one else can capture that traditional aesthetic quite like you guys. But lastly, there's the final key element that brings the festival to life. Companionship.
Before you leave, let me show you something that we've been preparing. Mr. Varka had asked to see it already, so you may as well tag along. Also, I have some further questions about Kuthar's decision.
What's this? They sure look like they're having fun.
I believe so. Kuhenki seem very skilled at playing drums like these, although I'm not sure where they learned it from.
Maybe it's an innate talent? In their eyes, they're probably just playing with toys.
Wanatar! You wanna play too?
Yeah. She looks more confused than anything.
Maybe we can teach her next time if we get the chance. What are these floaty things?
Moon veils. We hang them from buildings in the city during the festival. When you look at the sky through them, it creates a lovely misty effect.
Everyone seems hard at work.
They're preparing items for Moon Prayer Night. For instance, the sculpture being made over here, Mr. Varka and I were just finalizing the details of where it will be placed.
Ah, there she is. I didn't know the finished article would be so large. Not to worry, though. All the necessary arrangements have been made. Just let me know once it's ready, and I'll get some people to ship it over.
You have my thanks. And over here, we are preparing a very traditional confection.
Oh, look at all these colors! It looks great! Can Paimon try one?
Of course. I have a feeling you'll like it a lot.
You bet! Sweets and treats are Paimon's favorite!
If you included those in the Feast of the Moon, I bet Paimon would have joined the Frost Moon Scions by now.
There will also be verdant crests like this present in Nasha Town during the festival. The timing of Moon Prayer Night is not completely set in advance. We make a rough estimate, then observe the changes in the verdant crests and moon prayer blossoms to guide us. As such, the wait itself is a fun feature of this particular festival. Let's talk here. To tell the truth, I am very surprised to hear that Kutar is willing to participate in the festival. I once asked her if she'd be willing to stay with the Frost Moon Scions. I could introduce her to everyone, and we could be a family to one another. She did not answer, but she has not appeared here since. I took this to mean her answer was no, but if that were the case, she would not have accepted this invitation. Ah, I see. Maybe she is right. Maybe the Frost Moon Scions of today no longer need a moon goddess. But my wish was not for her to come here and be worshipped as a deity. I simply wanted to offer her a place to stay. I'm sure she believes that showing herself here might invite Fatui intervention, and as such, she does not wish to cause us trouble. But what really pains me about all this is that this is her birthplace. She ought to belong here, yet no one has been able to grant her shelter.
I think I'm qualified to weigh in here. When someone's about to depart on a long trip, what they need is blessings, not burdens. We should wish her the best, not make the journey harder than it already is. Anyway, she's agreed to attend, hasn't she? All we need to do is simply respect her decision.
I see your point. Yes, she will soon depart after all.
Our job is to leave her with some happy memories. Besides, who's to say her journey to the moon is a one-way trip? It's not like she can't come back and visit if she wants, right?
Paimon agrees wholeheartedly. Festivals are all about having fun, so let's keep it simple.
All right, I'm gonna head back to Nausea Town soon. Wanna come with? I'm guessing you have some other folks to visit there.
Sure thing, let's go! Bye for now, Wilma!
Thank you all. Goodbye.